What's going on, everybody? Drive time, back at it again. So I want to do a little pop quiz with everybody, and this one is along the lines of our American justice system. And most people who've experienced it is probably not even going to want to engage because we already know how it really works. But for those of you that have faith, and I'm going to ask you a few questions. Number one, are you allowed to brandish a weapon and threaten to shoot somebody if they're not threatening you? Number two, are you allowed to leave your home and walk towards a person while brandishing a firearm? Number three, are you allowed to tell or make a threat to people that you are going to shoot someone? Number four, are you allowed to spit on someone? And just for fun, in reference to number four, for number five, are you allowed to spit on someone while holding a firearm? Now, most people would say no to every single one. They would say if you brandish a weapon whilst not being threatened, that's against the law. Most people would say, depending on where you live, but most places, if you're in your house, you are safe. So you don't leave and go aggress towards a person. And this is whether they're on your property or not. And even in a stand your ground state, they have to be aggressing towards you, and stand your ground just means you don't have to retreat, doesn't mean you can aggress. Number three, can you announce to someone that you're going to shoot someone? And I should add specifically, can you say this to the police? Like, can I call the police and say, I'm going to shoot somebody? Maybe yes, maybe no. I'm not sure how that law exactly works. Number four, can you spit on somebody? 80 to 85% of people understand and recognize, I hope this wave is that loud, recognize spitting on somebody is classified as assault. It's classified, I don't think it's classified necessarily as battery, but it's definitely in most places classified as an assault, especially because saliva can carry harmful bacteria. And then number five, a few people know, I won't say most, but some people are also aware that when you assault someone while brandishing a firearm, it increases the penalty because you're doing something to a person and it can be seen as provoking and whatever, and they can't do anything back. Like, there's a lot of reasons behind it. I don't know all the full legal jargon, but it's usually known that you can't do any of these things. Now, the reason why I ask this question is because one of the things I run into and that I see people deal with is not understanding how skewed our justice system is. And the reason why I'm asked those questions is because there's a video out right now. If you don't believe me, you can look it up, where an officer on his day off did every single thing that I named on camera and admitted to it during a 911 call. So, short recap, there's a guy that's investigating him, an independent journalist. He goes to his house, knocks on the door, asks him a question. As soon as the guy sees who he is, he said, "Get off my property right now." He says, "Okay," starts backing up, walking off his property. All of this can be proven by multiple camera angles. The Ring camera that the officer has and the camera that the guy has, because he's recording everything. He immediately starts backing up. The officer goes in the house, calls 911, gets his gun, and tells 911, "I'm going outside, I have a gun, I'm going to shoot him." He goes outside, he's steady saying, "Get off my property right now." You can see on camera from, not both at this point, because he has a pretty big front area of his yard. He's backing up the entire time, which, if you don't know anything about trespass, once being told to leave, you have to leave. You don't have to rush and run, but you do have to actively be trying to leave. And if you are leaving, you're usually not violating trespass list. The place has some weird trespass rule. So he's constantly backing up. The guy is constantly marching towards him, gun in hand, on the phone with 911, and they can hear everything. You can hear him as he's yelling, go. And then the person says, you just spit in my face. And he says, yes, I did. That is an admission of guilt. Then he tries to change it and says, I spit while I was talking to you. I don't know the nuance to the specific law, but I'm pretty sure that's not an excuse. It's still fun, but I don't think you can get away with it that way. And then not to mention the fact that you're talking, no one talks and goes while they're talking. This is just unreal. So the person continues saying, you spit in my face. And at one point he says, you damn right I did. Again, this is all while on the phone with 911. And he's saying, you have a gun in your hand. And he says, you damn right I do. I'm a whatever state trooper. Now, earlier I asked you 5 questions if you said, can you do these things? Most people who have basic understanding of the laws will say no. This person did all of them, every single one. Not only did he do it with video evidence for most of it, from some of it from 2 angles, all of it from 1, he also did so while on the phone on a recorded phone call with the 911 dispatch. Do you think he was arrested? I'm sure you're saying, I don't know. I mean, and here's what I'm gonna say before I end this one. If you're a person that says, yeah, not if he was a cop, because they get away with whatever they want, smart person. If you're a person that says, well, he's a cop, so he gets, you're an idiot. And if you're a person that says, I don't know, I would have to see all the details, fair enough. But if you think that a person off duty is supposed to just be able to come out of their house in plain clothes and do whatever they want just because they're a cop, you might be. I'm not gonna say you are for certain. You might be an idiot, because that's not the way it works. But it does in our country, and that's why I say we have an injustice system. We don't have a justice system, really, because if we did, he would have been arrested on the spot. Because average whoever, whatever, if they did one of them, maybe 2 of them, they get arrested. Not all 5. Oh, and by the way, the person who didn't break any laws got arrested. And if you're wondering, oh, well, he was trespassing. Trespassing only applies when it's marked no trespassing and his property wasn't marked. And I know you're going to say, well, how do you know it wasn't marked? Because there's body camera evidence of the cops when they came and they went over to see if they could find no trespassing sign. And you know where they found it? Buried in the bushes. So they knew that it's not posted. And they admitted on camera that it's not posted. Not to mention that the person who is recording it records everything as he approaches. So he even recorded that it's not posted. And even then, I know there's going to be at least 1 out of 3 people that's going to say, well, honey, he didn't go there and move the sign before he started recording. And then again, I state, if you feel that way, maybe, just maybe, I don't know for sure, you might be an idiot.